This program provides education, not advice. See the truthayf.com disclosure page for details.
This is where technology, innovation, and personal finance come together.
This is the truth about your future with Ric Edelman. Brought to you by Global X ETFs, dedicated to providing investors with unexplored intelligent solutions.
It's Wednesday, April 12th. Today we're going to talk about scams. One scam in particular, and it's the biggest scam in investing today. ESG. It's a good sales pitch. Align your investments with your values. Do well by doing good. Focus on the environment, social, and governance issues. So don't invest in tobacco or casinos or gun manufacturers. Invest instead in companies that improve the environment, advance social equality, and treat employees fairly. ESG. Environmental, social, governance. This movement has gotten a lot of attention, and the mutual fund and ETF industry is exploiting this. There are now more than 1,100 funds that claim to invest only in companies that focus on ESG. And in fact, MSCI now ranks mutual funds and ETFs based on their attention to ESG, and it has given 1,120 funds a AAA ESG rating. If you buy a mutual fund or ETF with a AAA ESG rating from MSCI, you have the confidence that you're aligning your investments with your values. Has some financial advisor pitched an ESG fund to you? Have you invested in an ESG fund because you like the idea of aligning your investments with your values? Well, you've been bamboozled. 2 new research efforts show that you might want to rethink your strategy. One study shows that over the last 1, 3, 5, and 10-year time periods, ESG funds underperform the overall market. Are you willing to earn less to feel good? Well, maybe you are. Sure, earn a little less if it means saving the planet. Okay, I get that. But earn so much less that you'll run out of money in retirement? Do you realize that you might be doing so much good that you'll be self-sacrificing your entire financial future? Take a closer look at your ESG fund's performance record. Maybe it's okay. Maybe it isn't. All I'm asking is please, make sure you really want to stake your financial future on this. And if you confirm that your ESG fund's performance has been okay, that's probably because the fund has not actually been acting like an ESG fund. MSCI has now decided that it hasn't been doing a very good job with its ESG ratings, and so it's revising how it evaluates all those ESG funds. And according to a recent leak of their new research, which hasn't yet been publicly disclosed, those 1,100 funds that have a AAA ESG rating, there are going to be just 54 of them that actually keep that rating. All the others, MSCI is going to be announcing, are not actually investing in accordance with ESG goals. So you're about to discover that the ESG fund that some advisor sold you isn't ESG at all. And even if your fund does manage to be a true ESG fund, how do you know that its definition of being socially responsible is the same as your definition of socially responsible? Say a company has a great program of hiring and promoting minorities, pays women the same as men, has lots of women in senior management, and gives all employees 6 months of parental leave when they have or adopt a baby. Sounds like a great ESG company, right? But what if that company operates casinos? Uh-oh. Or how about this company? They have an entire website devoted to their ESG focus. For environment, they talk about renewable energy, their use of recycled, composted, reused, and recovered waste. For social, they highlight their statistics about community involvement, inclusion and diversity demographics, and how many people they've hired who are women, Black men and women, Hispanic men and women, AAPI men and women, American Indian, Alaskan men and women, members of the LGBTQ community, people with disabilities, and veterans, those who are under 30 and over 50. They talk about their gender pay equity, their health and safety emphasis in the workplace, their parental leave policy, all their staff training and development, their monitoring of child labor and forced labor by overseas companies they contract with. And in governance, they cite great statistics about how many members of their board and senior execs are female, African American, Hispanic or Latino, Asian, Middle Eastern, or LGBTQ. They also show how they pay attention to the compensation of their CEO versus the rest of the company. All their statistics show that this is one great company. It scores excellent on E, S, and G. There's only one problem. The company I'm talking about is Altria, the second largest tobacco and cigarette company in the world. So if you haven't decided what ESG means to you, you could be investing in companies that don't align with your values, even without you realizing it. And let me tell you why you don't have to invest with an ESG lens in the first place. ESG is smart business. If you're a manufacturer, you need to safeguard your factory emissions. If you pollute local streams, you're going to get fined. The publicity is going to drive customers away. Your business will collapse. So we don't need a save the planet mantra in the boardroom. We need a board mantra that says, save our company, because saving your company means you're going to operate in a manner that is environmentally safe. ESG is just common sense. And so in a few years, every company will be operating under ESG. And with everybody operating that way, it will no longer be a market differentiator. You're not going to be able to brag about it. Therefore, you're going to need some other criteria for the investments you buy. And if you're a financial advisor, you're going to need some new shtick to present to your clients. So just ignore ESG and ESG ratings, and ignore any financial advisor who promotes them. Hey, if you're listening to me on Apple Podcasts, make sure you subscribe and leave a review. I just got one from a listener who calls themselves Terp Shooters. And they wrote, I've listened to Rick for years, and he continues to share his wealth of knowledge and his ability to communicate advice, caution, and new exciting future technologies in both technical and layman's terms. Well, Terp Shooters, thanks for the review. Glad you're enjoying the new format. And hey, you can leave a comment if you have one to make, or a review. Do it on Apple Podcasts for The Truth About Your Future with Rick Edelman. I might read yours too on the air, even if I don't like it. See you tomorrow.
The Truth About Your Future is sponsored by Global X ETFs. Listeners of this program enjoy fresh perspectives on the financial topics that matter most, especially the rise of exponential technologies. And right now, there may be no faster-moving tech story than the rise of artificial intelligence. But despite some exciting new developments, like the launch of ChatGPT, we are only beginning to scratch the surface of AI's potential. So, which companies will have staying power? As an investor, it's hard to know, which is why Global X ETFs specializes in thematic investing strategies that harness the potential of numerous companies involved in an emerging trend, all in a single trade. Explore our investment approach along with our latest research on the emergence of AI at globalxetfs.com/insights.
Support for Rick Edelman's podcast comes from Invesco QQQ. Meet Carmen, an everyday person who likes working in the garden, hosting dinner parties with friends, and listening to live music. She also participates in Progress by investing in a fund that supports innovative ideas. Invesco QQQ ETF allows you access to innovators of the NASDAQ 100, so you don't have to be an engineer to help push progress forward. Anyone can become an agent of innovation. Learn more at Invesco.com/QQQ. There are risks when investing in ETFs, including possible loss of money. ETFs' risks are similar to those of stocks. Investments in the tech sector are subject to greater risk and more volatility than more diversified investments. The NASDAQ 100 Index comprises the 100 largest non-financial companies on the NASDAQ. You can't invest directly into an index. Before investing, carefully read and consider fund investment objectives, risks, charges, expenses, and more in prospectus at Invesco.com. Invesco Distributors, Inc.
Making the complex simple. Insights you can only get right here.
This is The Truth About Your Future with Rick Edelman.